We've got football in just about 3 weeks, and of course, Nebraska is hard at work to amend a string of losing seasons, and Matt Rule in his first year expects much better. We got Justin Adams on the line from Cheesy Corn right here on YouTube, Cheesy Corn Sports, so check it out. We will provide the link down in the description section down below. Justin will also be hosting our post-game coverage right here at the Voice of College Football after every Huskers game. So we are amped about that. Justin, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mark. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited to get the season going and kind of get this all started and try to get hopefully some positive post games going, maybe some wins. So see if I can bring some good chi to the Husker channel a little bit.
Yes, you will be a hero of sorts if you're able to bring a good vibe and a change in direction there, and everyone can attribute that to you. Yeah, it was because Justin started doing post game that our fortunes have turned. There we go.
I'll take it.
And again, Cheesy Corn Sports,
yes sir,
is the place to be right here on YouTube. All right, let's start running down this offense. And Jeff Sims, of course, the new guy coming in from Georgia Tech. And I got to say that I was not surprised he won the job, but I guess I was surprised in the manner that there was really no quarterback battle. He stepped on campus. Casey Thompson transferred not long after. And it's all up to Jeff Sims, who has a reputation more as runner than passer. But I know after hearing from him at Big Ten Media Days, he wants to correct that narrative.
Yeah, exactly. And with Sims, I mean, I feel like we kind of saw the writing on the wall as soon as as Rule came in and handpicked him. I know Casey Thompson and the way Rule came in is he wanted to be respectful to the former starters and former players but he also had a real conversation with them. So I would imagine that maybe somewhere along the way he had a conversation with Casey about that, about how Jeff Sims was probably more so his guy. But to your point, like you said, Jeff Sims, great runner. His athleticism just jumps off the screen. You can see it in the spring game and everything. It just his burst and the way he takes off, he's going to be a stylistic nightmare if we can get the offensive system rolling, and get the passing refined. Like you said, I do believe that Rule is going to find a system that will play to his strengths more so. I Rule to me is the way he's been playing everything. To me, Rule is just like this genius who can't make a wrong move. So when I'm saying that, I'm implying based on what he's done already, but I feel like he can unlock a lot of Jeff Sims' potential, and that this offense is the sky's the limit, because as we know with Martinez's turnovers, mental lapses in the fourth quarter, it seemed to kind of almost carry over into that fourth quarter mental lapse with Casey Thompson, and that's something that we're just trying to break out of. I think it's just nice to get a new leader in there with a new culture. Like I said, Rule is just going to implement his system and his culture into Sims. And Sims, to me, he's well-spoken. He seems like a great leader, a great kid. So I think the offense will take a huge jump this year solely based on that. I do think he has a lot more of an overall well-rounded skill set than Casey, just like we said, which is the passing, and we can just get that polished up. Outside of that, Chubba Purdy, not a whole lot of experience, had to come in some situations with injuries, but as we know, him and Smothers really struggled when Casey went out. Offense was just stagnant, non-existent. But with Chubba, I haven't given up on Chubba yet. I mean, he was thrust into some really tough situations. So it's a very young room, but there's talent. There's talent there. And Sims, I'm extremely excited to see Sims play this year.
Yeah, as you know, Justin, nobody's going to be wowed looking at Jeff Sims' statistics at Georgia Tech, but we all need to understand that nothing was working at Georgia Tech. Jeff Collins had a pretty disastrous run there after Georgia Tech was a strong program under Paul Johnson. Just nothing working. And every time, just practically every time Jeff Sims stepped on the field, especially in conference play, he was playing with an inferior team, inferior talent around him, and playing an opponent that was better. I've seen him play quite a few times and was generally impressed with his skill set. And again, he's really worked to become a better passer. Matt Rule made a comment at Big Ten Media Days that when Jeff Sims is running with the football, it's going to be meaningful. They're not going to run him over and over just to gain 3 yards.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't mean the result of every play is going to be some dynamic long run, but that's going to be the intent, that these need to be game-changing plays when he does run. We're not just going to use him as a plow horse, that he's going to be needing to run, and that's going to be relied on, that component in his skill set, but it's going to be a pick and choose kind of situation.
Which I like. As we know, with mobile QBs, you run the risk of them wearing down, taking hits and stuff like this. So you really do want to be very limited in how you use them and how they operate. And with him, if it's a structured run, I mean, with him, he could probably run whenever he wants, I feel like, and pick up yards with his speed. But if we use him with purpose and intent, I think what Rule wants is just efficiency across the board. And I think with every play, there's going to be a purpose to every play, and there's going to be plan A, B, C, D. And I think with Frost, a lot of the problem was he was letting them just do a little too much on their own and get away with a little too much. And that's another thing that I like about Rule too, is and kind of like what you mentioned with Sims, his passing, when you watch him throw the ball, it doesn't look like, it looks like he's got zip on the ball, and he is very accurate on occasion. Like in the spring game, I was impressed. I mean, it was very vanilla. We had some very, mid throws, not a whole lot of testing them, but just the overall, the mechanics and stuff like that. It's not like he's this it's not like he's Taylor Martinez, for instance, where he's kind of shot putting the ball off his shoulder. The mechanics are there. It just needs to be, and like you said, just talent, good system. And I think that's why I think the sky's the limit for him here. I think people really going to be surprised this year.
We got Justin Adams on the line breaking down the Nebraska offense as we head toward the opener against Minnesota on the road. You can catch Justin at Cheesy Corn Sports right here on YouTube. It's a good listen, so give it a watch and lock it in. And we are amped because Justin's going to be hosting our Nebraska post game this year, and you can hear the obvious excitement, investment in Nebraska football. He's a passionate guy, and he knows his stuff. So the Nebraska post game's in good hands this year.